Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of AndrewsFootball.com. Welcome to my championship preview. I'm just going to briefly break down the AFC and the NFC Championship games. In 2 weeks, we're going to have a Super Bowl. I'm excited. I know you're excited. There were two really good games, both pretty convincing victories, double digits by both teams. And let's talk about the AFC first. Kansas City, which lost to Tennessee in the regular season, won the AFC Championship to advance to their first Super Bowl in 50 years. Now, I am a Chiefs fan, but I'm not as excited as most people. It's kind of like Christmas because you knew it was coming and you knew it was coming and you knew it was coming. It was just a question of, boom, it's finally here. I really felt that going into the playoffs, only Baltimore and New England really had a legitimate chance to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs. And when the Kansas City Chiefs beat New England in New England, I was thinking, well, is it time for a rematch with Baltimore? But once Tennessee won that game, if you watch my AFC Championship game preview, I called the over, and then I called Kansas City to cover by 7. I thought they would win by double digits. I predicted a 38-27, so 35-24, pretty damn close. I mean, I predicted 11-point difference. It's an 11-point difference, 35-38, 27-24. It's not that much of a difference. So I pretty much knew what was going to happen. Kansas City was just too much. Derrick Henry did have some success in the first half. They really kind of got away from him once they were down by double digits in the second half. Not his fault. Ryan Tannehill's interesting story along with Derrick Henry because what are the Titans going to do with these guys in the offseason? But before let's do this here, give Tennessee Titans a ton of credit. Here's a team that's 2-4. They benched their quarterback, and every NFL scout, GM will tell you that if you draft a quarterback in a top 5 pick and it's a bust, that usually sets your franchise back several years, so you don't want to make a mistake. Well, I think the Titans did make a mistake in drafting Mariota. He's not going to live up to that, at least not in Tennessee. He may go somewhere else and have some success, but clearly, this is a guy who was benched. They brought in Tannehill. Tannehill's the one that took him to the AFC Championship game. Is this the guy that you're going to build your franchise around? That's an interesting story. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are going to be available via free agency, or do you go ahead and you draft somebody and just start from scratch? So this is going to be very interesting questions. Then you also have Derrick Henry. Now, here's a guy who is the best running back in football. Let's be clear. He won the NFL rushing title. He had 211 yards last game of the season to do it, but can you build your franchise around Derrick Henry? Yes, but bigger running backs take more damage. The shelf life is shorter. Do you give him that big contract or do you let him walk? I think that situation may be a little tougher than most people think. I think a lot of Tennessee fans are going to say, well, you obviously paid a guy, but do you? And that's a good question because there's going to be another team out there that could pay him a lot of money just for fun. I think it'd be kind of neat watching with San Francisco from a fan perspective. San Francisco likes running the ball. Maybe he goes to Baltimore. Maybe Baltimore wants to give him a ton of money. It would be very interesting to see what happens, but I don't think it's a lock that Derrick Henry stays in Tennessee. That's just my opinion, but a lot of interesting stories with Tennessee for this offseason. Give them a ton of credit. Not a lot of teams that start off 2-4 go to the AFC Championship game. I actually think Tennessee will be a better team. They will probably have more than 9 wins next year, despite what happens with Tannehill and Derrick Henry. But they may not get back to the AFC Championship game. But there's a lot of good things I like about Tennessee if you're a Titans fan. With the NFC game, I predicted over. There's not really too much of a surprise to me. When I looked at this game, it was not really too much of a difference between the regular season meeting. San Francisco got out to an early lead. They ran the ball. The defense is good enough to really stifle Green Bay. Green Bay played a little better. I called the over on this game because I wasn't 100% sure if it'd be a close 49ers victory or a big 49ers victory. And it was a big 49ers victory. It's it's just running game and defensive dominance. They run that Tampa 2 defense, which has been around since the 70s. So it's an old school philosophy by a new school head coach in Kyle Shanahan. With Green Bay, and all due respect to Green Bay, I never saw them as a Super Bowl caliber team. Aaron Rodgers is Super Bowl caliber quarterback. Devontae Adams, Super Bowl caliber running back. The defense has some good pass rushers and some really good young secondary pieces. But overall, I never looked at them like a Super Bowl team. To me, even though they had a good record, even though they were the 2 seed, even though they had the bye, I just felt like I actually thought the Saints were a Super Bowl caliber team. I thought San Francisco could be a Super Bowl caliber team, but I didn't really feel Green Bay was. With Green Bay, it's very interesting because they're really close. I mean, you got to the NFC Championship game. You have a lot of youth on defense. That defense should be better next year than this year, but Aaron Rodgers will be 37 during the 2020 season. When do you draft his replacement? Do you do it this draft season? Do you do it next draft season? Do you start looking in free agency for quarterbacks to replace Rodgers? Or do you just provide him with new weapons? Sooner or later, you have to deal with the prospect. Remember, when Rodgers was drafted in the first round, Favre was still a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback, very similar to what Aaron Rodgers is. But sooner or later, Green Bay's going to have to pull the trigger. That'll be something really interesting when I start breaking down the draft, what Green Bay will do. Now, San Francisco, like I mentioned, it's kind of funny because with Andy Reid, you have an old veteran coach, and then with Kyle Shanahan, you got a new, relatively inexperienced head coach, but the new coach runs the old school offense and defense. The Tampa 2's been around since the 70s, but the run first offense, the sporadic passing, that's all very old school, while Andy Reid runs basically what the future of the NFL is going to be for the next decade. Patrick Mahomes is going to be the face of the NFL for the next decade. Now, the opening line was Kansas City -1. Some places are saying even money. The way I see this game is that $1,000 to somebody who lives in San Francisco is significantly less than $1,000 to somebody who lives in Kansas City. So I really think that the money will go towards San Francisco's way. I think that when it comes game time, I think you're going to see this to be close to a pick-em. If it's not a pick-em by game time, in a perfect world, I'd love to see San Francisco as a slight favorite. But that'll be very interesting. But ultimately, you have in this Super Bowl two completely different teams, two completely different coaching strategies, two completely different style of coaches, and two teams are complete opposites playing in this game. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be pretty evenly matched. I'm going to have a prediction for you and my breakdown of the Super Bowl next Friday. So listen, I want you to have a great week. And if you haven't already, I blew it up for you. See that button right there? See it? Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. I will see you later on.